what exactly is a nervous dog, or what is an anxious dog, or what is a shy or sensitive dog, right? A nervous dog basically is a dog that has a nervous means anxious, all of these things mean it's related to fear, right? So it can be a fear of something, someone, some dog, and we discussed those, but basically it's a fear related to something. Phobic. Now, phobic dog, let's say dog is phobic now, it will basically be petrified of something to the extent that soch bhi nahi ho rahi hai. Sensitive or shy dog, actually my dog is sensitive or shy. So what that means is उसको हल्का सा भी डांट दे या हल्का सा भी negative whatever in the environment also हो जाए तो they take it very personally. You have to be very, very gentle with them. Now, how do we know that this behavior sort of is happening? I think we are taking this in the live session the other day also, right? The most easy way to see this kind of behavior will be the meaning of that would be the word flight, running away from anything that they're scared of. And the second kind of behavior, which goes sort of hand in hand with that flight behavior, but is a little higher than that, little bit, is called calming signals or stress signals. Okay, what are calming signals? So with calming signals, they're pretty much talking to us. They're making us understand that they're not okay with certain things. And if I'm scared of something, I would displace, right? But each dog, like I said, has different calming signals. You'll have to read them in your dog to know that it is out of context behavior. What happens is they go up and up the ladder of actually the fight response. Flight is what we talked about, which is running away. Then we talked about calming signals. Then there are a couple of steps, and then what they start doing is, yeah, this thing is not going away from me. You don't seem to understand that I'm scared of that thing. What happens is when flight is not allowed, you don't recognize calming signals. It goes to the worst level, which is basically meaning harm to keep away. Why does all of this happen? The biggest reason sometimes, unfortunately, it's nature and nurture, right? So the first reason can be genetic. A lot of our dogs could be genetically prone to be nervous. Some breeds are these are mixed breeds, so there may be a breed in there that we don't know about also. Some of them may be rescued, so it may be traumatic situations that they've come in from. It could be past experiences, just unfortunately mistrust. Basically, a lot of us know this is very, very important. Do not use too much food when you're dealing with fear, because what happens is a lot of mistrust builds. Then not socialized before cutoff period. What that means is basically by the age of 6 or 7 months, now up to that, if you have a puppy, I think a few of you all have said puppy. So if you all have a puppy that has fears, you can still to some extent reduce it to a high level depending on how much that fear is. That's possible. But once they hit something called the end of the socialization period, like I said, shy personality, and then एक छोटा सा चीज हो गया तो बस बेचारे personally ले लेते हैं. So that's just a sensitive dog that went to nervous because of one or two small incidents also. Now, what are the triggers? Triggers means किस चीज से scared है, right? What are they scared of? Just like we've said before, a lot of our dogs are scared of strangers. Dogs. Just to give you a side note here, not all dogs have to like dogs or all dogs, whichever of them, just like it is with people. You don't need dogs to play with dogs for them to be extremely happy or fulfilled. Each dog is different. Some like playing with dogs, some don't like playing with dogs. Some want to keep the distance and coexist, which I think is the best way to go about it. Just objects. You'll see a lot of our dogs are like this. And hilarious thing, okay? I mean, you can put in the chat box and tell me, but like umbrellas, they're scared of, danda, and kursi sometimes, moving kursi, ladders, raincoat. Like in the rain, you must have seen a lot of our dogs are not okay wearing the raincoat. Other, what do you say, trigger is environments. What that means is new places. Our home is an environment. Similarly, a park is an environment. Beach is an environment. Terrace. All of these new places. Someone else's house, that's also a new environment. Cafes. So all of these, if you've exposed your dog already and they're okay with it, that's fine. Suddenly, if you take them after the age of maybe 7-8 months, now sounds similarly, just like a lot of you all said, firecrackers, thunderstorms, all of those things. Smells, if the smell of monsoon, sometimes if there are dogs that don't like the rain, a lot of them don't. then even the smell of that wet mud, they'll just refuse to go in their walks. They absolutely will. And just like I've written here, you know, it may seem random, but there's definitely something to it. Something they've not liked, something they're scared of, something they've had trauma about. That's what they associate with, and that's where the fear comes from. Now, fear comes under the new negative part, right? Negative, and just like our integer scale, I think, yeah. There's negative, there's neutral, and then there's positive, right? So we are at negative right now. They're scared of things, they're petrified of things. So what we should aim at actually is to get them to neutral or as close to neutral as possible. These are the things that we can aim for. We definitely, like I said, if a puppy is maybe 2 to 3 months old, there's a lot we can do about it, definitely. But above the age of 6, 7 months old, you can hope to reduce the fear. You definitely can. Okay, I can tell you, unless your dog tells you they don't want to, and they will. Some of them will just say, this is too much for me to handle, so I'll just remain the way I am. So that's when management techniques come into play, and you know, behaviorists can help you with that. What alternatives in life can you use for them? So you need to measure the fear properly, and behaviorists can help you with that, where they tell you कि चलो इतना है तो इससे इतना हो सकता है. Give you realistic expectations about where that can go, what can be done about it. We have learned a lot about calming signals or you know, stress signals. So those, understanding those is actually the number one thing to not let it get any worse. That's very, very important. Then there is also, I was saying, no, basically even with the firecrackers, the sound we were discussing, that it has to stay to a point where they can deal with it. If it's too much fear, no, they're not going to deal with it. They will just run away from the situation, and you'll keep telling me that, but I tried, it didn't work. So yeah, so you know, multiple therapies. So using the long legs by hiking in nature, by if it's a Labrador, then swimming. If your dog, even if it's not a Labrador, if it's a dog that likes swimming, giving them that access. Sniffing non-city smells, very important. So we always say that sniffing is good for your dog, but not all sniffing leads to calming. It may be just information sometimes. So जैसे कि concrete वाले smells बहुत आते हैं इधर. Nature, pure nature. Wherever you can find excursions, there are a lot of people that do these, you know, be it trainers or people that organize hikes. I'm sure SPLOOT will help you get in touch with those people. But basically, get your dogs to do something very doggy-like. So digging, just like you said, you know, shredding, digging, running in sand, running in mud, running on grass, using their legs to walk up a hill, going on beaches and walking into the water, running on the water. These are very natural. They're called earthing techniques, just like grounding techniques. You know, like our therapists normally tell us about, say, you know, how to deal with anxiety. You know, how we address these behaviors. I'm just going to quickly go over those. We've already discussed them, but how do we basically address the anxious behavior? Don't just leave it the way it is. Do something about it. If it's a fear of stray dogs, try to take your dog out at times when the strays are sleeping, maybe to start off with. Or even better, try to take you know, him out to another area where there are no stray dogs at all. Change your area altogether. First, get him to be okay there, then closer and closer and closer, and see if he'd be fine. Something like that. But address it in the mildest of levels as baby steps. Then set realistic expectations, just like you said. Okay, don't expect them to fully change. It's not going to happen, but we can definitely help them through those steps. That's what we should be aiming at. All of you all said patience is part of it. I really hope you all stick to it and are patient with our dogs. Mental stimulation, just like you guys said, no, shredding activities and all of those, definitely take to those. Sniffing games, shredding, you know, food puzzles, all of those would help to keep stress at bay. And one small tip is, do, if you can, one thing in, I would say either every other day, or if you can, then every day, that your dog just loves. So if you say that my dog loves fetch, I would play fetch with my dog every single day. If my dog loves a car ride and loves it, like to, you know, sit at the window and sniff the outside and all of that, do that every single day. Build trust, definitely build trust. Don't force, you know, like I said, we will land up being badly mistrusted by our dogs, which could even lead to bites. So don't lose that trust. Tell them that you're on their side with your actions, of course, and make them know that you will help them through this. And same thing, like, do not force your dogs. Don't push them in situations where you know that they won't be okay at that level. try and see to encourage at best. Nahi ho raha hai to restart, go one level lower, restart from there, no problem. And very, very big disclaimer, even though I've said all of these things, like I was saying, every single dog is different. What works for them is very, very different. So if you think that something doesn't work for them, don't continue with that. Just don't continue. It's clearly not working for them. You try it for a few days and you say that, okay, no, it's getting worse. It's very clear it's not working for them. So you have to try something different. You know, maybe you get in touch with a professional and check. But if just like you guys said, you know, like going to the garden for months and months, still not used to it, obviously something is wrong. So we'll change something about that. But yeah, that is it.